What up, everybody out there in the internet YouTube planet? I want to come in and make a video real quick about worship. You know, when I first became a Christian, I often wondered, I'm like, why do we have to sing songs and worship God and adore Him and focus all of our energy on Him? It's like think about if you were to do that towards another person, let's say like a professional athlete or a celebrity or whatnot. Oftentimes you think it's because this person is like some kind of narcissist, or maybe they're insecure and they need people to prop them up. And very often I would have these thoughts and kind of struggle with this whole thing in my mind about why does God want us to worship like this? What is this really all about? And over time, I started to learn that it has nothing to do with that God is insecure or that He needs our worship. What I realized is that He, in a way, poured Himself into His creation, all of Himself. In a way, it is like worship, what God has done throughout creation. And the pinnacle of His creation, in this plane, is human beings. We're made in His likeness and His image. And when you really understand that He gave all of Himself, He gave all of His mind, His soul, His strength, His spirit, in creation, and that we're the crown of that, you start to understand, like, when you give up yourself in worship, where you worship Yah, Yod He Vav He, with all your mind, with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your soul, that you are coming into a place of intimacy through that with Him. And the best way I could say how this really looks like in a practical way is a marriage. A marriage between a husband and a wife really only comes into its fullness and maturity is when the husband selflessly gives of himself to his wife in everything. Whether it's your work, whether it's your time, whether you're talking, you're intimate with each other sexually. It is really reaches its true potential is when each person gives of themselves selflessly, 100% selflessly to the other person. And that's what I realized, that when the scriptures talk about, like in Ephesians, how the bride needs to grow into the full stature and measure of Jesus Christ. That's what it is. He is the epitome of what it looks like to give completely of yourself. That was the Father showing His full heart, the full manifestation of what He did in all of creation and towards people, towards humans, towards us. So when He died on that cross, when he was buried, when He took upon the sin of the world, when He gave everything that He was unto death, He was expressing that devotion to us. Now, He wasn't worshiping us in the sense of how we worship God, because it's kind of like when it says we love Him because He first loved us. That's how I would liken what I'm talking about right now. This devotion, this level of worship. It's a response. We're loving God with the same love that He's expressed to us. We're responding to what He's done. We're not bringing this in and of ourselves. This is a response to what He's done. And so I just wanted to point that out today, that, worshiping God and giving of your energy to Him in everything is, you have to look at it like a marriage. He gave all of Himself unto you, and now you are, as a response to his love and to his devotion to you and to his sacrifice to you, you are giving all of yourself to him. And we can extend this even into, for instance, other subjects that seem very like controversial, for instance, like holidays and all sorts of other religious practices that people like to argue about. I would say that the reason why the feasts of the Lord that are listed in the Torah are more relevant to God than American holidays and other types of holidays, religious holidays, is because they are dress rehearsals, and then they are also memorials. They memorialize something that God has done on our behalf, and they also point us in the direction, like a rehearsal of what he's going to do in the future. It's much like significant moments, significant milestones in a marriage, in a person's marriage. That's why you celebrate your anniversary every year. That's why you even celebrate the time that you met your wife, you got engaged to her, or your husband, vice versa. It's very much the same way with the feasts of the Lord. That's what they really are. They're appointed times that memorialize how God has basically, what he's done for us so that we could be married unto him as his bride. And that's the only way that you could really understand this in a practical way of why we should worship Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, the Lord our God, with all of our mind, with all of our strength, with all of our heart, and give him that adoration, give him that devotion that he wants. So I just wanted to leave that with you today, and I hope you step up your level of worship in these days, not because out of works or out of religious duty, but because you have a revelation of how much he loves you, how much he's done for you, and you respond to his heart. You respond to his heart with the devotion of your heart. We're going to be, we're entering into trying times. I've given a lot of words about all that, but at the end of it all, it's not about fear. It's not about getting whipped up into some kind of frenzy. It's about actually our devotion to God and to the purposes, being led by his Spirit, and to really worship him as the bride. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. So with that, God bless you. Talk to you again.